We all know the Chipmunks were dropping absolute bangers in their live action movies. Shout out to my boy Theodore, MVP of the whole group, don't argue with me. But when I wasn't busy getting monked, I remember the good old days of the Halloween movie specials of my youth. And well, wouldn't you know it, it's the Halloween season. And I feel the need to remind you because every major retail outlet seems to have forgotten. I walked into Michael's one day, it was like barely even into October and all the Christmas stuff was up. What's up with that, guys? I stopped and went, ew. I hope you jerkwads get monked, if you know what I mean. Halloween is the superior holiday, and I'm not giving up on it. We got 3 Halloween specials that we're going to cover in this video today, and together we will celebrate Halloween the way it was meant to be, alone in our homes watching television. What was nice is that these movies gave kids a little taste of some classic literature. I know I was never forced to read Frankenstein as a kid, but Alvin and the Chipmunks at least introduced me to the general idea, showing a little bit of the Universal Studios version of Frankenstein.
He destroyed our village!
You created some monster from dead body parts?
Well, I wasn't, but now I am. So Victor breaks down and preserves the monster so that we have an excuse to have him in the future. And I have no doubt in my mind that the reason we don't see this movie playing anymore is because they have the bolts on the neck. And that is owned by Universal. That's why modern versions often have the bolts on the head.
You're just not scary. Give me your head.
Asking for someone's head? That seems a little forward. I didn't know Alvin and the Chipmunks had their own version of Harvey Weinstein.
Attraction, the terrifying experience, our public...
I'm sorry. What is that? So the Crips are scary, but not the Bloods? I didn't realize the Chipmunks picked sides like that. Then again, now that I think about it, Alvin always... This show has a lot of references that really only adults would understand. I understood that this guy lost his job, but they talk about how he doesn't have insurance, and they blend Disney World and Universal Studios together, and how miserably annoying adults can be, also known as Karens. They don't waste time delivering an absolute banger from the Chipmunks. And I want to ask you guys a controversial question. The voices of the Chipmunks in the animated series is better than the ones from the movies. Like, the movies are too high-pitched. The animated version was just a little less high, and it made it easier to understand them. I think it worked better. Let me know if you agree in the comments, and if you disagree, let me know by subscribing to the channel. Guys, they just dropped a hint as to what their next spooky special would be. It's like decoding a Taylor Swift album. There's so many layers. Were you trying to crowd surf? Bro, this is an amusement park. I know that venues tell the bands that you can't crowd surf or mosh pit, knowing full well that they're gonna do both. And they say that just so that they have like a legal excuse to be like, hey, we told them they can't do that, you can't sue us. But you actually can't do that at an amusement park.
It's scary. Not scary, thrilling.
So Dr. Victor Frankenstein is alive, so I have no idea how old he is, or if he's functionally immortal somehow.
I never liked you.
You think Alvin is a great actor? Simon can get the waterworks going in the blink of an eye. Now that's talent, and Theodore is only a few seconds behind him. Alvin and his infinite ego hijack a tour bus. Now they're horribly lost and late for their second show. Now we introduce the hunk that is Dave. Wow, I forgot how delicious he is. Closing time for the park, and the monks are still lost. You'd think someone would have recognized them by now. Not knowing what else to do, they find the only building that still has lights on, and of course, it's Victor's mini castle, and they see what he's been working on. You know how this goes. Sparky, creepy German science man makes creepy bigger buff man, and then Alvin gets them caught. Victor sicks the monster on them. I do miss the joke of two characters somehow missing each other by just a moment. I think it's classic. I wish we could have that more. Dave sees the light on Frankenstein's castle.
Sammy, I'm a squirrel rodent in the world.
Is that supposed to be his weakness? Because I'm pretty sure that's just about everyone's reaction when they hear "It's a Small World." We proceed to watch silly cartoon hijinks as the boys manage to ride their favorite roller coaster while also dealing with the monster. Victor manages to put himself to sleep. Dave is totally fine. They manage to escape and get back home. They try to tell him that a monster chased them, but Dave doesn't believe them. I'm gonna stop you right there. It's obvious you're making stuff up. What does this have to do with circles? I do like how they really aren't afraid to have so many references. They throw several references to a bunch of different random things in a very short amount of time. Add this to the lore, for some reason Frankenstein's monster can track people through scent. And so he finds Theodore from his bear, but Dave shouting at them gets him to fall to his unconsciousness. Theodore goes to get his teddy bear, gets grabbed by the monster, and he gives him his teddy bear. That's the thing that I love about Alvin and the Chipmunks' interpretation of Frankenstein. It's so much closer to the original. The monster actually wants to be seen as a person, just like in the book. I mean, he's not insanely smart like he is in the book, but I'll take what I can get. Hey guys, I made a new best friend. We all have to be friends now. I love Alvin's reaction. It's honestly exactly what I would do. Delegate this responsibility to someone smarter than me. That's what I mean. You can smack talk all you want, but when things get real, that's when you find out who your real friends are. Don't know why I'm doing a bad Australian accent, but I think Australians are cool, I guess, subconsciously.
He probably just acts like a monster, because everyone treats him like one.
There you go. That's the whole book. All you 5th graders can quote that verbatim and you'll get an A on your paper.
Stay home today.
Why, I turned down a lunch date with my vacuum repair man.
I want the record to show that Miss Miller can get some. Literally everything this guy touches just breaks. He can't do anything without destroying it. It sounds like my love life. This is the part of the movie that I feel drops the ball. Does it make sense that they're trying to teach the monster to be human? Yes, but they completely drop the scary, creepy vibes. It doesn't even look like it's October outside. It's like the middle of summer. It lacks the aura, the feeling, the ambiance, some other synonym that I can't think of. You know what I mean. I love how the monster isn't actually super tall. He's just wearing platforms. The monster figures out that Alvin must have been monk-napped by Victor Frankenstein.
Alvin sounds like he's getting a cold.
A Midsummer Night's car crash. I was going to talk about, the facial expressions in this show and how they really deliver and how you don't see that too often now that animation has been streamlined. But geez, that's the reason I love these movies. Okay, no, but seriously, can we talk about facial expressions for a second here? We've been seeing a lot of people talk about facial expressions, primarily with actors who have so much plastic in their face that they can't. Oh snap, did they just say that? But I feel like people really forget the importance and the difficulty around facial expressions. There's a reason why K-pop Demon Hunters was so impressionable, or like the majority of memes that came out of The Legend of Korra. I feel like outside of anime, facial expressions are largely dying in Western animation, especially when they have most adult animation trying to copy Family Guy because they think we're idiots and they'll be like, that looks like Family Guy. I like Family Guy, I'll watch that. Even though like Family Guy and A Haunted Hotel are two like radically different shows that don't share really any similarities other than a somewhat similar art style.
Have you ever seen a mindless zombie?
Are you kidding? I live in Hollywood.
Oh my goodness. Alvin has seen the Fenty fold. Alvin drinks the goop, and now it's time to basically just kill him. He did say he was going to be a zombie. That's something I really missed in cartoons. The constant and imminent threat of torturing children. But oh no, a leaky pipe ruins everything, so Alvin is somehow okay. That was a lie, he's very not okay. Oh no, he turned into Violet Beauregard. Theodore figures out that the diet of Hollywood superstars is so disgusting that they happen to have all the ingredients to reverse the effects of Victor's potion. All the while, Alvin goes full Looney Tunes on the party. The brothers manage to get the potion into Alvin, reversing the effects. Alvin and the gang manage to save the day and the star of A Midsummer Night's car crash, and so they get their job back performing at the amusement park. Victor sabotages the electrical system to give Alvin another shock to try and reactivate the potion, but his monster finally steps in to stop him, and Victor gets a shock instead.
Oh, it's a monster!
I want to be upset, but that's definitely something that might happen. Theodore asserts his dominance and makes him stop lashing out, and then talks some sense into the angry mob. So Frankenstein's monster gets a happy ending in the Alvin and the Chipmunks version, and Victor is stuck in the squirrel costume that he hates with his whole heart.
Squirrel, squirrel, squirrel.
I hate my life.
Now, Frankie has his own job as the tour bus driver. Everything comes full circle. And everything turned out okay. It's a really cute movie. It's a little bit lacking in the spook factor, but I feel like fans of the book would really appreciate the Alvin and the Chipmunks Halloween Frankenstein special. The plot does kind of go in phases, starting with Victor and the monster, and then teaching the monster to be nice, and then the Looney Tunes portion, and then the finale. All parts were connected to each other, but it felt very segmented. This one isn't quite my favorite, but it's always fun to watch. 1 year later, they meet the Wolfman. You'd think it were starting the same with a black and white flashback, but you'd be wrong. Alvin is running away from the Wolfman, and it's a dream. Of course it is. Alvin has been having a long streak of nightmares.
That always spooks me.
It's because you watch monster movies late at night.
In his defense, that is the appropriate way to watch horror movies. You can tell this was made before the housing crisis because a man with a single income can afford a room that comfortably fits 3 kids. Honestly, that room could fit like 6 kids.
No tomatoes, right?
Nope.
And no avocados.
Do these guys have some sort of primal fear for foods that share their primary color? Alvin is blaming all his nightmares on the neighbor with the literal house of my dreams. Oh, and we're also doing a school play on Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, which I guess is smart since last movie they couldn't carry the spooky vibes all the way through, so mixing 2 iconic stories to fill in the gaps is a good idea, even if it feels a little wrong in my heart. I remember this is my favorite of the Halloween specials. I watched this one the most. Theodore is being bullied and their gender-bent counterparts are here. Speaking of which, how do the Chipettes exist? I never learned their origin. Or Alvin and his brother's origin. Is this like a TMNT situation, or are they just like that and we shouldn't ask questions?
Madam Rhea, mad scientist set. Alvin, wait, look out!
That looks like it's coming from the school.
Oh, I smell a lucrative lawsuit coming on. Oh, that's how Dave affords the house. He can use the Chipmunks as lawsuit bait.
I'm about to take early retirement.
Why, you don't look a day over 50.
I'm 31!
But like, why did adults from the 90s and 2000s look like that? They for real looked like they were 50 in their 30s. On the way home, everyone hears growling, gets spooked, starts running, foreshadows the plot, get home, and their neighbor comes and complains about the kids running through his flower bed.
He says your dog wakes him up with its howling.
I don't own a dog.
Then what are you doing with all those bones?
How did you know I had bones?
I mean, seems like a normal guy to me. I thought we all had skeletons in our homes. What? Is that weird now?
Oh, I can't wait to see if the mummy makes the
Aren't you
football
afraid
team.
this'll rot your brain? Too late.
You think that's brain rot? I got you some top-of-the-line fresh brain rot right here. You kids ever heard of Skibbity Toilet?
Alvin is convinced that Mr. Talbot, the neighbor, is a monster, and nobody believes him because Alvin has been claiming every neighbor is a monster. So you could say he's been crying wolf. Dave takes away all of Alvin's cool monster stuff and tells him he can't be part of the Mr. Hyde play. As much as it hurts my heart, that is good parenting. And I'm more than happy to take away all that monster memorabilia off Dave's hands. Theodore is replacing Alvin in the lead role. Alvin starts acting like me whenever I go too long without a horror movie or looking at goth girls on Instagram. Speaking of which, follow me on Instagram. Luckily, Dave didn't know about his order of the Book of Monster Facts. Also, he throws away the neat necklace and Theodore takes it. This will be important later. Either Mr. Talbot is a werewolf, or he's also a fan of late-night horror mystery cable television. Alvin annoys Simon enough to convince him to try and find clues about the werewolf, just so that Simon can finally get some sleep. And this is where we get our first absolute banger of a song, Monks on a Mission, which also serves as a montage for a Scooby-Doo-esque mystery-solving extravaganza.
Even a man who is pure at heart and says his prayers by night may become a wolf when the wolfbane blooms and the autumn moon is bright.
You spent several days investigating this guy, and you never even bothered to finish the chapter until now? The only problem is that if their neighbor has wolfsbane and a silver walking stick, how could he be a werewolf when he has his own weaknesses? But maybe he has the mark of the wolf. If I ever get to the point where I'm so tatted up I get a palm tattoo, I know what I'm gonna get now. Not very important, but Theodore also gains confidence to act in the lead role, and it's a really cute B-plot. He's so confident that he works up the courage to give his feminine clone that necklace. On the way home, Theodore actually sees the werewolf.
What happened to your hand?
I got bit by a dog!
You can see where this is going. Oh no, he's going through his rebellious phase. And he's protein maxing! I always liked how Simon just goes with it and pets Theodore like a dog. Obviously, good boy powers gives him the confidence to absolutely destroy it on stage. Theodore must have been on E621 too much because his inner furry finally unveils itself. His confident wolf is overpowered by his sweet nature, and so they treat him like a puppy because what else are you gonna do? The second song montage begins, and really it just shows that Theodore is slowly being more and more rude and a massive jerk with his newfound confidence. We do awkwardly kind of drop the main plot of their neighbor, which is a little shocking. I find it weird how they just pivot plot lines during their movies. Sure, they're connected, but when I watched it as a kid, I thought it had switched to another movie and I just wasn't aware. So the boys go to the late-night horror mystery cable TV host for advice on how to treat their brother.
We need your advice.
Well, I've already missed my butt master class.
Yeah, and it looks like you need it, sister. Silver. Hit him with some silver something or other. Maybe a cane. She's not very helpful, given that all the solutions to werewolves are killing them, so they gotta figure something else out by themselves.
However, you gotta do it before the next full moon. Well, after that, he'll become a full-fledged werewolf.
And the two plots finally merge, time to commit a crime. But it's okay, because if you're a minor, then they'll go lighter on your sentence in court. That's what the streets taught me. Alvin bonks Theodore, more or less, and nothing happens except Theodore breaking the cane. Dave apologizes and returns the cane, and Talbot invites him in.
Handle was made from the silver bullets fired at my grandfather by angry villagers.
That is special.
We finally get to see the Wolfman. You know, the title of this whole movie took long enough, and Dave actually sees that Alvin was right all along. And I think that's what made me fall in love with this movie. Usually the parents are always ignorant to what the kids are doing and never end up learning that they were right. But seeing the parent here finally be able to take his side made this movie special. Also, Theodore transformed into a werewolf during the play, ruining it in the process. Then Dave knocks himself out while he's at the school. Funny enough, Talbot never really does any damage or cause much of any harm. He kinda just stands there most of the time and growls. He's not really intimidating. The necklace that Theodore gave Eleanor is reminding him of his human nature. And we get a 1v1 between Pup and Wolfman. And the bite of another werewolf turns him back into a human, and I guess Theodore too somehow. It's like algebra, it just cancels itself out. The play is well received thanks to everyone's improv, and gosh, the ending wasn't really all that great. The lead up was pretty great, but the resolution was not very satisfying. It didn't feel like a climax, it just felt like it happened. It did a great job establishing the tension, but that's really all it did.
I'd like to introduce your new principal, Mr. Lawrence Talbot.
Dave, not realizing what's going on, accuses him of being a werewolf, and they quickly tell him that they solved it and to chill out.
Thank you.
Obviously, the Chipettes needed to have a song, and it's so good that I'm putting it on my Halloween playlist. That's really the best part about these movies. You get a Halloween special and new Halloween music. We need more new Halloween music. Why don't more people make Halloween music anymore? Now, these two movies were airing while I was a kid, but there is a third Chipmunk Halloween special that no one knows about, even older than these two. One that wasn't aired, one that is forgotten. So let's watch this Halloween special together. This is Alvin and the Chipmunks, Trick or Treason. Also support me on Patreon. Links are in the description. We're treated to a monkified version of Monster Mash to kick off the show, along with several classic Halloween activities, each of our main characters celebrating the holiday in their own special way. Alvin is obsessed with getting into a monster club that he thinks will get him all the babes he wants. And if I knew the club looked like this, heck, I'd want to join too. They got lasers and special effects. Sign me up.
Prove you're worthy of becoming a monster. You must perform 3 awesome tricks that will culminate in the Monster Mash Halloween night.
Geez, these kids look really 90s. So, there's a new kid on the block that people call the Pumpkinhead and make up awful stories about when it's obvious he was just born with a birth defect. And Theodore is dragged into his room.
I know what you mean, Theodore. I've heard all the rumors before. It's okay, Theodore. It's just Woody.
While Theodore makes friends with Michael, Alvin and Simon are trying to make something to impress the Monster Club to try and schmooze their way in.
What are you gonna be? Me. But it's the one day of the year I can be who I am, and nobody runs away from me. They treat me just like I'm another kid.
Hey, to all the writers who made this movie, who no doubt grew up between the 60s and 80s, what the heck was wrong with you guys? Why were people bullied this badly? Did I grow up so privileged that we didn't treat kids like this so bad? Or did the lead paint make you guys into massive assholes? Also, why is it that a kid that looks funny get bullied more than the literal anthropomorphic chipmunk people? Like what? Theodore comes home and ruins whatever it was they were building, and so Alvin has nothing to show the super cool leather jacket monster club. The logo they made isn't even that good. Alvin tells them he'll do anything to join, and they tell him that he wants to chase Pumpkinhead Michael out of town, and then they'll let him join.
Help! I've fallen and can't get up!
And this is how Alvin and Simon find out that Theodore has been hanging out with Michael, and Theodore sticks up for Michael and introduces his brothers to him. Now Alvin can't chase him out of town because Michael is just such a great guy. Now he needs to figure out another way to get those sweet leather jackets.
Tonight's Halloween. Someone has to get monster mashed. Are you in?
I'm in.
They make a tar and feather concoction and stake outside his house. So they casually commit a crime, tackle him to the ground, and dump the crud all over him. And for some reason, Michael is wearing that sweet leather jacket. Simon and Theodore chew out Alvin. Oh shoot, that wasn't Michael, it was a bait and switch. Alvin isn't a total monster.
Hey, what's going on? Oh, you know, monsters will be monsters.
If you breathe on my little sister, she won't explode?
Nope.
And they all went trick-or-treating. It was just a Halloween special and not a full TV movie, but it was still really sweet. Did you guys grow up watching the Alvin and the Chipmunks Halloween special? I am just kind of trying to rack up the monk counter right now. Have you been taking a drink every time I say monk? What are you dressing up for as Halloween? Did you guys check out my Patreon and follow me on Instagram? Did you check out my Patreon and follow me on Instagram? Well, let me know in the comments below. You can also check out my Elvira video if you want more Halloween content. I hope you enjoyed this video. Stay beautiful! And happy Halloween. Oh, but wait, there's more. We took a little vacation with our friends to Savannah, Georgia, the most haunted city in all of Georgia. We went to the Grave Face Museum where we learned about roadside taxidermy, Anton LaVey and the Church of Satan, which is actually not the same as the modern Satanic Temple. I feel like that's very important. Displayed for everyone to see.
Yeah.
Is there an upstairs?
Yes.
Or is it haunted?
It's the John Wayne Gacy part.
Oh, okay.
Hit the bottom button. Or the top, whichever one I didn't.
It's haunted!
Press the buttons. Press the buttons.
Wait, you gotta read the thingy.
Damn, the drip. Whoa.
No, I do not agree with these.
Whoa. Whoa.
Behind you.
Whoa. Me. Haunted items and some true crime serial killers that I won't be showing because it gets pretty visceral. I mean, you'll just have to go to the museum yourself if you want to see it, like, you know, Pogo the Clown and Ed Gein. And they're also working on their own documentary expanding Pogo the Clown's investigation and how he may have had accomplices. They also had a second museum centered around horror movie props, and I actually got to stand next to an Elvira Coors Light standee. What are the odds? Go watch my Elvira video, please, I'm begging you.
What is happening?
Oh. Is she okay?
Are you okay?
So just in case I gotta trigger it.
Trigger it. Try it. Come on in.
These are the props. Ooh. Oh.
Kinda cool.
That museum had a whole room dedicated to the monster cereals and all the different versions, marketing, ads, and toys, and I love those cereals so much, oh my goodness. We went on a hearse tour and a bus tour.
We've expanded to 22 squares. I can't take you through all of them tonight, but I'll take you through as many as I can because we have lots of stories.
And we explored one of the most beautiful cemeteries that Savannah has to offer. Everywhere you looked, there was some sort of Halloween decoration, some of them more hidden than others.
Look. It's a murder scene. What? And he's dead.
He just wanted to love. He just wanted
love.
That is cool.
That is so cool.
But it's on the coast, so I indulged in my hyper-obsession of pirates at the Pirate Museum. And honestly, I feel like I knew more about the figures than the museum taught us, but it was still really pretty. On the last day, we went to Tybee Island, where we scaled the lighthouse and nearly lost our phones recording this for you guys. And then we went to the beach.